Okay, today we are proceed for the new point under this unit, that is the type of end support of the beam. Now let us see here. There are the various types of support and reaction developed at the listed below. That is, the very first is the simple support, roller support, hinge support, and fixed support. These are the various types of end support which is observed in the beam. Now if you start with the simple support, if the beam rests simply over the support is called simple support. In such case, reaction at support is at right angle to support. It is right angle to support. If you are see over here in this figure, this beam horizontal member is called beam, which is supported over this wall, Due to this support, it makes an angle 90 degree over here. The reaction which is developing, now let us consider this reaction is Ra, or let us consider R, which is making an angle 90 degree. That's why the right angle to the support, reaction at support is right angle to support, and the beam is free to move. Beam is free to move. It means that it is allowed to move over here in this direction as well as in the vertical direction also. Free to move. The beam is free to move. It may be move in this direction or it may be move in this direction. Okay, free to move in the direction of axis, and also in the free to rotate also. It is free to rotate also. It is allowed to rotate about the support. Such a kind of support is called simple support. Such kind of support is called simple support. Now let us consider one of the example. Now let us consider you are putting your mobile on the table. It means that the mobile phone is simply supported over the table. It is simply rest over the table. It is the simple type of an support. And your mobile phone, it may be move, it may be rotate over the table. It means that your mobile is simply supported by the table. It is the one of the simple example. Now let second one, roller support. In this case, the beam is supported on a roller. Such case, reaction is normal to support. Here also, the reaction is also normal to support. Such a roller can be treated as frictionless. In that case, due to the roller, the reaction is frictionless. Many mechanical components are having roller support. In the various mechanical components, in the various machine components, you may observe the roller support, which is roll between the guides. If you are seen over here, this one is the guide. In that particular guide, it is roller, and this roller is moving in this direction only, horizontal direction only. In such case, reaction will normal to the guide. Reaction is always normal to the guide, which is making an 90-degree angle, normal to the guide. Both the reaction as shown in the figure B and A, the roller support is free to move along the support. It is free to move along the support only. It is allowed to move in this horizontal direction only. It is not to allow in the vertical direction. It can rotate about the support. It is allowed to rotate also. It means that this support is allowed to rotate about this point. Okay, it is allowed to rotate about this point. Such a support is called a roller support. Now here, this reaction is always 90-degree with the support. 90-degree with the support. Now, if you are considering this roller support over the inclined plane, it makes an angle 90-degree with this inclined plane. It is making an angle 90-degree with the inclined plane, and it is only one reaction. It is only one reaction, and it is always normal to the support. Such a kind of support is called roller support. Example, you may see any support which is supported over the roller is called roller support. Hinge support. It is a hinge end. The beam can move in any direction. However, it is rotate about the support. Beam cannot move any direction. It means that it is not allowed to move in the horizontal and in vertical direction. It is not allowed. This one is not allowed. Only rotation is allowed. Only rotation is allowed. This beam is rotate about this hinge point. This beam is rotate about this hinge point. Hence, the support will not develop any resisting moment. It means that if it is allowed to rotate, the resisting moment is not developing, but it can develop the reaction in any direction. Due to this, what will happen? It will be developing the reaction R in any direction. Any direction, it means that it may am making an angle theta. It may be of 20, 30, 80, 40, 90, any angle. It means that it is developing the reaction at any angle to keep the end stationary. That's why this reaction R can split into horizontal HA and vertical VA component of the component for the purpose of analysis. It means that if you are considering this reaction at support A, it is split up into two components. If you are resolving this force R in horizontal and vertical direction, this reaction is HA and VA, that is horizontal component. As we know that we may resolve this component as a R cos theta. As we know that here it makes an angle theta over here, and near to the angle component, this component will be cos, and here this vertical component will be R sin theta. If this angle is known to us about this vertical component, in that case, if we are consider this angle with vertical, this component will be cos and this component will be sin in that particular condition. It means that hinge support, it is allowed to rotate only. It is not be allowed to move any directions. That's why there are the only one reaction which makes an angle theta with the horizontal. It may be split up into two components, that is horizontal component as well as in the vertical component, horizontal component and vertical component. Now here, to find out this reaction, horizontal reaction and vertical reaction, if suppose there is one load over here, it may be UDL, it may be point load. We may see the types of load in the next part. Now here, such example of such support, simple example, you may daily observe this hinge support. Your door of your room is simply it is hinge supported. It means that when you are opening your door or when you are closing your door, you are applying the load over that particular door, it is rotating about the hinge support. It is rotating about hinge support, and it is not be allowed to move in horizontal and vertical direction. It means that your door is fixed at particular location, but it is allowed to rotate. It is allowed to rotate. That's why this kind of support is called hinge support. Your door is hinge supported. Fixed support. In such a support, the beam end is not free to translate or rotate. It means that such kind of support is not allowed to move in horizontal direction, in vertical direction, not allowed to rotate about any direction. Okay, all these three things are not allowed in fixed support. The translation is permitted by the developing reaction in any required direction. Reference to this figure. Support reaction R, which is at an angle theta to x-axis, may be represented by HA and VA. As we know that VA is R sin theta and HA is nothing but what? R cos theta. Rotation is prevented. Rotation is prevented by developing the support moment MA, as shown in the figure. Thus, fixed support A, there are the three reaction components. That is this horizontal reaction, vertical reaction, and resisting moment, MA. That's why for the fixed support, there are the three unknown reactions, that is HA, VA, and MA. Okay. As we have previously seen, for the simple support, now let us revise again. For the simple support, there is only one reaction which is normal to the support. For the roller support, there is only one reaction which is also normal to the support. For the hinge support, there are the only two reactions. One is horizontal, one is vertical. And for the fixed support, there are the three unknown reactions, that is horizontal reaction, vertical reaction, and one resisting moment. Okay, these are the various types of supports. Now, depending upon these types of support, your beam is again further classified. Now, let us see the types of beams. Types of beams. Very first, simple supported beam. Beam with one end hinged and other is roller. Overhanging beam, cantilever beam, prop cantilever beam, both end hinged beam, and continuous beam. There are the various types of a beam which is depending upon the types of an support. Now let us start with the first, simple supported beam. If you are seeing here, when the both end of the beam is simply supported, it is called simply supported beam as shown in figure. Such a beam can be supported the load in the direction normal to the axis. If you are seen over here, the ends are simply supported. That's why only one reaction is developing. And over this, there are the number of loads which are also vertical or normal to the axis. Axis means what? This one is the one of the axis of your beam. And about axis, it is making an normal component. That's why the direction of load, support load in the direction normal to the axis. Such kind of an beam is called simply supported beam. Now here, second one, beam with one end hinged and other is roller supported. As if you are seeing here in this figure, if one end of the beam is hinged and other is roller supported, such beam is called a one end hinged and other is roller supported beam. If you are seen over here, here hinge support is provided and here the roller support is provided. If there are the inclined load which is acting over such a kind of a beam, it may developing vertical as well as a horizontal component. And this horizontal component is nullified by the horizontal reaction which is developed by this support. Okay, this horizontal component is nullified with this horizontal support. Okay, now here such kind of an beam is called one end hinge and other is roller supported beam. Second is overhang beam. If you are seeing, if the beam is projected beyond the support, it's called overhang. The overhang may be of for the one side or for the both the side. If you see here, over the support, if we are projecting this beam beyond the support, projecting this beam beyond the support is called overhang. It may be to the one side or it may be provided to the both the side. If you are see here, this one is the overhang support. This one is the overhang projected to the both the side. This part is called overhang. This projected part is called overhang. It may be provided to the both the side or for the one of the side. And support, the support may be simple support, support may be a roller support, or it may be a hinge support. Support may be of various types, but projected part is called overhang. That's why this type of beam is called overhang beam. And overhang may be for the one side or for the both the sides. Okay. Now the cantilever beam. If the beam is fixed at one end and free at other end, is called cantilever beam. The balcony projection in the buildings are generally a cantilever type of an beam is supported. Or for the window, the chhajja projection is of cantilever type. it means that one end is fixed and other end is a free end. Such kind of an beam is called cantilever beam. And as we know that the fixed end is subjected to three kind of an reaction: one vertical reaction, one horizontal reaction, and one resisting moment. Okay, and free end, it means that there is no any reaction. That's why zero reaction to the free end. Such kind of an beam is called cantilever beam. Next one, prop cantilever. Cantilever and prop cantilever, the difference is only that at the free end there is one simple support is provided or hinge support is provided. It is the beam, one end is fixed and other end is simply supported. Such kind of an cantilever beam is called prop cantilever beam. Cantilever beam and prop cantilever beam, as the difference is this free end is simply supported over here, and another one difference is the prop cantilever beam is indeterminate beam and cantilever beam is the determinate beam. Now again, what is meant by determinate and indeterminate beam? If you are seeing over here, there are the three unknown reactions. Unknown, that what we have to generally find out by using the equilibrium conditions. That is summation fx is equal to 0, summation fy is equal to 0, and sum of all moment is equal to 0. There are three unknown reactions. We have three unknown, and we have three equations, equilibrium equation, three equation. Which equation? That is summation fx is equal to 0, summation fy is equal to 0, and summation of all moment about any point is equal to 0. These are the three equilibrium equations by using three equations. In the mathematics, as we know that if there are three unknowns, we need to solve this problem by using three equations. It means that for the cantilever beam, there are the three unknowns and we have three equilibrium equations. It means that the problem will be solved. These three unknowns we are easily find out by using these three equations. That's why this beam is called determinate beam. It means that whatever may be the number of unknowns are available, that we have find it out by using these equations. That's why this kind of an beam is called determinate beam. We are finding out all the unknowns here. Now what will happen for the next beam? For the next beam, here there is another unknown which is present, that is simple support. It means that one unknown is extra added over here. Unknowns are, it becomes a 4 unknown. Total 4 unknowns are there, and we have three equations. It means that it is not be possible to find out all the unknowns. One unknown is again remaining. It means that this beam is indeterminate beam. We are not finding out all the unknowns over here. That's why such kind of an beam is called indeterminate beam. Okay, this is not the part of your syllabus. You may be learn these terms in the second year or third year engineering. Most of the cases it is applicable for the civil and mechanical students. Okay, now both ends are hinged. Such kind of an beam, one end is hinge supported and other is also hinge supported. Such kind of an beam is called hinge supported, both ends hinge supported. Continuous beam, if the beam is says to be continuous if it is supported at more than two points. It is supported more than 2 points. Here is one support, here is another support, and this one is the third support. It means that the beam is continuous one. It may be provided with the number of supports again. It may be provided with the number of support. It is continuous one. Okay, that's why it is called a continuous beam. Or you may call it as if there are the more than two span. Span means what? This one is the one of the span. This one is the second span. Support to support distance is called span. Support to support distance is called span. If there are the two spans, This one is second. Two or more than two spans. This one is third, and this one is the fourth. If there are the more than two spans, two or more than two spans, then such kind of a beam is called continuous beam. Such beam is called continuous beam. Okay, these are the various types of an beams. Now over this beam, now if you are seen over here, these are point load, this one is the UDL. Now let us see what are the types of an loads. Types of load. Very first, concentrated load, then uniformly distributed load, uniformly varying load, external moment, and general load. Now let us start with the first, concentrated load. If the load is act on a beam over a very small length, it is approximately act at a midpoint of the length and is represented by a narrow arrow as shown in the figure. If you are seeing over here, there is a huge load which is acting over the very small area. Now let us consider you are standing over this beam, but your weight is transferred from your foot and the area is very small. That's why we are considering that the weight is acting at a single point. That is concentrated load, what we have considered over here. That is nothing but a concentrated load. Second is uniformly distributed load, or it is called as UDL. Shortly it is called UDL. Or consider the long distance, such a load is got uniform intensity. It is represented as shown in the figure A and B over here. If you see here, it is represented like this one, or it may be represented like this one. If you are see here, it is provided with is 20 kilonewton per meter. 20 kilonewton per meter. It means that for the 1 meter length, 20 kilonewton is the intensity. Now for this total 4 meter length, it is uniformly intensity of 20 kilonewton. To find out the reaction, this load is assumed to be total load acting at the CG of the load. For our simplification, what we have to made, we have to simplify this term and we have to get together all this load, and we are concentrated this load at a center of the gravity of the load. That is the mid of the load length. For example, if the beam as shown in the figure, giving the load may be replaced by this 20 multiplied with this load, 20 multiplied with this length, that is 20 into 4, it becomes 80. It means that we are converting this UDL into a point load. How to convert this UDL into point load? The UDL intensity multiply with the UDL length, you'll be getting the point load. And this point load, it is acting at the CG of the load, and CG is located at mid of the length. Mid of the length means this 4 by 2. It becomes a 2 meter from this left end or right end. 2 meter from the left end or from the right end. The concentrated load act at a distance 2 meter from the left support. It is located at the center. Okay, here also it is located at the center. The distance is located at 2 meter because it is of 4 meter length. That's why half of this it becomes a 2, and the concentrated load you will be getting from, that is UDL intensity, that is 20 multiply with the span is of 4, you will be getting the intensities of 80 Newton. What we have made, we have simplified, or for the our calculation, UDL is converted into a point load. Okay, this one is the uniformly distributed load. Now the next is uniformly varying load, UVL. The load shown in the figure varies uniformly from C to D. The intensity is 0 at C and 20 kilonewton at D. If you see here, this such kind of an arrangement is called uniformly varying, or it may be called as a triangular load. Intensity is 0 at C and maximum at D. The diagram ordinate represents the load intensity and abscissa represent the position of load in the beam. Hence, the area of the triangle represents the total load. If you want to convert this triangular load into a point load, simply what we have to make the calculate the area of this triangle, and this concentrated load is located at centroid of the triangle. Centroid of the triangle represents the center of gravity of the load. Such a total load in case of this being, if you are see here, if you want to convert this load into point load, area of the triangle is what? 1/2 length into height. 1/2 here, if you are see here, 1/2 length is of 3 meter and height means the intensity of the load, maximum intensity of the load is 20. Now simplify the term, this 2 and this 20 get cancelled, it is 10 over here. This 10 multiplied with 3, it becomes a 30 kilonewton. It means that if you are converting this triangular load into point load, intensity is of 30 kilonewton. Now where it is located? It is located the center of gravity of the load, and where it is located for the triangle, CG is located at 1/3 of the base. Now 1/3 of this 3 from the base, this one is the base and this point is of apex. This point is of apex. This one is the part of base and this point is of apex. It means that 1/3 of this 3 is 1 meter. Now if you see here, I will show here like this one. This 30 is a converted point load and the distance 1 meter, that is 1/3 of 3 is become 1 meter. And if you want to find out this distance from the support A, what will happen? This 1 plus this 30, 1 plus this 3, it becomes a 4, minus this 1, it becomes a 3 again. It means that from the support A, this concentrated load is at a distance of 3 meter. Okay, to find out the reaction, we can assume that the load given is equivalent of 30 kilonewton and acting at a 3 meter from the support A. Okay, by such a way, we are simplifying this load converted into a point load. Triangular load is converted into a point load. Now let us see the next load is of external movement. The beam may be subjected to external movement at a certain point. In a figure, the beam is subjected to clockwise movement of 30 kilonewton at a distance of 2 meter from the left support. As we seen here, this one is the clockwise movement. Whenever we are finding out the reactions, if the clockwise movement is there, we are taking it as a positive. If the moment is given is anti-clockwise, we may take it as a negative. Only this term is considered in the moment calculation. It is applicable in the summation of all moment. If we are considering the summation of all moment, in that consideration only we are taking this moment. For the vertical summation fx and summation fy, we are not going to be consider this moment. We are considering this moment in this equation only, summation of all moments. Okay, and last one is the general load. The figure shown is general load, hence the ordinary representing the intensity of the load, which is for the analysis purpose, we may replace this load into a equivalent concentrated load as per the UDL and UVL, that is uniformly distributed load, or for the uniformly varying load. How we are converting the point load into a point load. Similarly, for this general load also, we are converting this into a point load and we are representing over the beam. Such kind of a load is called general load.